Alright, so I'm back with the SoulPancake Blog, and today's question is, how do you reconcile discrepancies between reason and faith? Well, to me, reason and faith, they're almost one and the same. I say almost. Faith is kind of what we have at the edge of our knowledge, at the edge of our reason. All the great scientists, if you look back, I think Newton, uh, Darwin, all the scientists like that, most of them, when they got to something that they couldn't figure out, Newton, he figured out, um, he figured out how gravity, force, and mass, and all that work. But he got to the edge because it would only work for one body and another, and it got increasingly more difficult as you added in more bodies, and he couldn't figure it out. So once he got to where he couldn't figure it out, he attributed it to something that was divine. Um, Even Darwin made the quote that the eye was or actually, don't quote me on that. Not quite so sure that's a quote, but I know it said something that Darwin said something about the eye and how he can't imagine the eye coming about through evolution. Um, that may be misquoted, but I have read that somewhere. Um, so my whole point is that it seems like not necessarily faith, but at least putting something in the divine has come about when we get to something that we don't understand. Like when Newton, he couldn't figure out how all the planets moved together. But eventually, someone did. And it wasn't divine anymore. It was science. And we've been doing this now for hundreds of years. And that's what I look at. But back to the original question. How do I handle discrepancies between faith and reason? Well, I kind of just going back to the truth, going back to truth, my truth blog. I just kind of look. I try to look at all sides. If my reason only takes me to a certain place, then I'm gonna research as much as I can to see all the different theories of what happens after my particular knowledge ends. I have as much knowledge as I can look up, but once the solid knowledge ends, all I can look up are theories, and I like to do that. I like finding out what other people think past what I personally can understand. Um, but back to faith and everything. I've kind of not necessarily lost. I lost the faith in a way. I'm not so much as Christian as I used to be. I'm not so religious as I used to be. But I think my faith was transferred. Like it's more faith based on what we can do as humans. I personally believe we can do a lot. I do believe a lot will have to change for a lot to happen, but I personally believe we can do a lot as humans, and I think my faith has kind of changed more towards humanity than in something in the afterlife. I want to do something that will make this world better, but for the people to come and for me and my generations to come, I want this world to be better for them. And maybe it's just my personal thing, but if you spend all your time ignoring the problems of the world, going about your own thing, trying to get your eternal salvation, it's kind of counterproductive, I guess, in my mind. But yeah, but that's how I know that didn't really answer the question, but that's how I think between faith and reason. I like to think I use my reason a lot, but I also put a lot of faith in my reason, which or I put a lot of faith in reason. Um, yeah, I'm kind of rambling here, so I'm gonna end this now. But faith and reason. Um, I guess looking at it, I put more into reason, and then I'll put faith, and I put faith in something like that somebody will eventually figure it out. I guess that's where I put my faith in now. That's something that it will be figured out eventually. Um, okay, now that I stopped rambling, now that I actually stopped, I had to edit that out. I had to edit a lot. Now that I stopped rambling, I guess for me, faith versus reason, I am very much a reason oriented person. I can't just simply take things on faith. That that to me is a lot of I don't even know how to say it. It's I don't like putting faith in things that can't be proven. It just doesn't seem right to me. But yeah, that's my whole thing. Faith versus reason. I'll go towards reason more than I will faith. And I'll put faith that eventually the reason will come. Yeah. Okay. Um, if you like this video, just like it, share it, do whatever you want with it. If you don't like it, then tell me if you didn't like it. Tell me what I can do better. And yeah, I will see you guys later.